Hey everyone, my name is Jerry Robert, and I want to welcome you to this short presentation on collaborating with an author. It's something very different, but very unique. I wrote this book called Publish a Book and Grow Rich. I've been a marketing consultant for several decades now, and I stumbled upon a very interesting idea because I'm sure you'll agree that a lot of people, when it comes to marketing today, uh, really are faced with several challenges. You know, if you think about how marketing has changed and how complicated it's become, and you add to this all the social media stuff, it's easy to feel overwhelmed because the costs are going up. Oftentimes, the results are going down. And I recognize that. I've recognized that for the last 30 years while I was doing this marketing consulting. Uh, I recognize that with AI and with everything going on, that people today were looking for alternatives. And so maybe about 20 years or so ago, I was conducting one of my seminars, which are called Publish a Book and Grow Rich boot camps. And it's not about selling books. My thing is not about selling books. My whole premise is that it doesn't make sense to try and make money today selling a book. But if you use a book as a marketing tool, you can create some amazing authority, visibility, credibility. You can use it as a lead generator. You can do so many things with it. And so I've been teaching people how to publish books and use them in this very unique sort of lead generation, income accelerating ways. But one guy who came to my seminar was Larry Marshall, Reverend Larry Marshall, who was a semi-retired Anglican minister. And all he did is he conducted weddings. He was an officiant at weddings and at funerals. Hopefully not in the same ceremony, but anyway, he came to my seminar and he loved the idea about doing a book, but there are a significant amount of costs associated with it, and he didn't have a lot of funds to be able to do it, so he was a little bit dismayed. And so I put my thinking cap on and started brainstorming ideas. And around that time, this movie had just come out about sponsoring, using product placement as a way to fund. That's what he did in this movie. He funded his whole movie by getting sponsors. Around the same time, you remember Jerry Seinfeld started using product placement in his TV show, because all of the things that you see here on the set, every one of those products are paid for by those advertisers. Well, I was the first guy 20 some years ago to think and come up with the idea of using product placement, but in book format. So getting back to Larry, I asked, and you might wonder, well, what did Larry have to offer? Larry had something very unique to offer, something that every author has. And that is TPOP, target population. You see, he was writing a book on how to get married. And it was a great book. I saw it, and it was sample wedding themes, and it was speeches and a lot of background history on why they call it a bride and a groom. And it was a great book. And so I started to ask, who else wants to get in front of people who are planning a wedding? Well, just think about it for 5 minutes. I mean, you've got limo drivers, dress manufacturers, florists, photographers, event planners, venues. And I wondered, what if we could get all of those people to sponsor the book, get them to collaborate with him? Not only would they be great partners for him, by investing a few dollars, he would be able to fund his project. Well, that took off like crazy. He was able to partner with a florist. Now, just think about this. The florist would get an ad in the back of his book. She would be the only florist in the back of the book. I mean, just think about it. The cost was so relatively small in comparison to the benefit, because that florist's ad would be in that book for life. And she would agree to buy a certain number of books, and she could literally sell those books in her florist shop because, gee, she's in the book. She could use it as a giveaway, as a lead generator. She could use it as a premium incentive if people, instead of buying the $79 bouquet when they came into the florist shop, if they bought the $100 one, they would get a free book. So it just exploded from there. I have since used this technique on literally thousands of other books. Let me just show you a few that I pulled out just to show you quickly. Kim wrote this book on branding, and she was able to get sponsors like an HR company, an event management company, other people like Jody is doing a book called Beyond the Banks. She was able to get a mortgage company, get a real estate company, a rental company to advertise with her. These become very precious because, I mean, to be the only financial advisor on a book on mortgages or real estate is quite a thing. This author from South Africa, the new entrepreneur, Shirley Anthony from South Africa, we always start our section with resources the author recommends. And so what she was able to do, she got an insurance broker. She got an accounting firm. Now, you say, why would an insurance broker be interested in advertising in a book on entrepreneurs? Well, every one of these entrepreneurs need the services of an insurance company, an advertising company, a legal firm. She got advertisers to partner with her with this. Same with this. This is from India. One of the authors, one of my clients, he teaches dentists how to have better and more successful practices. Well, he was able to get vendors who want to get in front of dentists and partner the book with them, a full page ad. And so these are examples of people all over the world who essentially want to get in front of the right audience. And this, although it's unique, very few people have ever used this sort of thing. It is powerful. So just to show you quickly, Mary Beth Haynes wrote this book, The Power of Pets. Now, Mary Beth Haynes is a book for pet owners who lose a pet, like what happens when a pet dies. And so the program that she did, she was able to find all kinds of sponsors for her book. You'll see we start our section with resources the author recommends. And then she was able to get a pet memorial company, a veterinarian company, a pet cemetery. She got a pet store, a pet food store. And she partnered that whole book with her. And we're not talking about 100 now. We're talking about 5 or 10. I mean, geez, Tony Robbins, and he's a friend of mine. I open for him all over the world. I've spoken with him. I speak right before Tony. I've done this in Australia and Asia and Europe and the United States. Listen, his book, Money, the Master of the Game, had about 10 pages of ads, or 20 pages of ads. Now, that's, think about this. That's only 10 pieces of paper because each page has an ad on both sides. It's not obtrusive. And the best thing about this thing is how we are able to price this. And this is a very interesting thing. The only fee to do this is you agreeing to buy a certain number of books. And the more books you buy, the more features and benefits you get. But by buying a certain number of books, which let me tell you, you can sell those books and you get all your money back. We call that a self-funding marketing campaign. And there are so many benefits depending on how many books you purchase. Everything from a full page ad for the lifetime of the book. Now think about this. Nobody throws away a book. And if you want to position yourself very uniquely in front of your target market in not a newspaper or magazine that gets thrown out, in a book that never gets thrown out, that's one of the big potential benefits. But there are so many. The author will mention you in the book itself, in the content of the book. That's product placement within the book. That's perhaps how you met Henry. Maybe you met him from an interview that you may have done. He'll take whatever you shared with him in that interview and use some of it within the content of the book itself. This is like a third-party endorsement from an author. And you know that every survey that's done year after year after year consistently rates authors as higher in terms of estimation or reputation, credibility, than almost every other profession year after year. You get third-party endorsement. Your link is placed on the author's website. These are just potential benefits depending on how many you get. And I'll be happy to share more of this later with you or talk to Henry. Your link is on all the promotional materials around the book. When the author does a media campaign, you'll be mentioned. We do a book gala when we launch the book in several cities, and you can exhibit at those as well. There's a banner at the book launch gala. We've had as many as 600 or 700 people out at those. Maybe there'd be some interest in you hosting a seminar with the author. That's a very exciting way to generate leads and position yourself in front of your target market. But one of the most important things is category exclusivity. That means we're only going to have one person per category in the back of the book under the section called Resources the Author Recommends. And the author, Henry, has spoken to several people, and the first person in that category locks up that category. And all you got to do is buy a few books. Depending on how many books you get as well, there's opportunity to get perhaps some services for free from the author. Maybe they'll conduct a seminar for you. Maybe they'll do a keynote speech, which you could offer to a national association. They may do a workshop at your location, like Dr. Wint did. She was a retired school principal. And after she retired, she wrote this book, I Like Me. And she was able to partner with several Montessori schools who use their books to attract people to a workshop that she did in that venue. And this is brilliant because we've got a whole system on how to do this so that that event becomes a marketing event, because you start advertising to the public that if they come to the workshop, they'll get a free copy of Dr. Wint's book. For the existing clients at the Montessori schools, they put 2 tickets in every backpack of every student with a little note that said something like, we want to say thank you to you for trusting us with your children. You'll see there are 2 tickets for a workshop being conducted next month with Dr. Wint. They're worth $97 each. We'd like you to come as our guest. And we're going to give you a free copy of her book. So that builds an amazing amount of goodwills to your existing customers. And then also she was able to hook up with a not-for-profit and raise money for that not-for-profit, because a portion of the book sales that night went to that charity. I've done this all over the world to every industry imaginable. A car dealer uses this book to get people to come to a workshop. I mean, how not to get ripped off when you're getting your car fixed, A Woman's Guide to Finding a Mechanic You Can Trust. Imagine giving those tickets away. What is it saying about the dealership when they conduct a workshop in the garage at the dealership where the author shows the audience how to detect deception and how to speak to the people? So people have done this all over the world. This author, Space, Time, and Wisdom, advertised and partnered with a casket company. Now, you may be wondering, why would a casket company ever want to do it? It's always the same answer. It's about the target population. This book is designed for senior citizens, and so is a natural. So if you've been invited to listen to this presentation, it's because there was obviously some tie-in. Henry is going after and will have one person in per category. And if you're listening to this, it's because he'd like to invite you to be the vendor in the category that you are in. That's for the ad in the book. There are other opportunities, and I don't have enough time to go through them right now, but there's a feature profile, a special edition of the book where you print a special amount of books and give them away, a chapter contribution. Feature profile, let me just highlight them quickly. A feature profile is just like a 2-page ad, but it's not in the back where all the others are. It's within the 2 pages within the content of the book. Now, there's not a lot of them. This doesn't become obtrusive at all. There's only 2 or 3 of those per book. But this is really exciting. This author sold a special edition to Purina. Now, Dr. Peterson was a former veterinarian, and he figured out a way to sell more merchandise in his veterinary practice. So we started to ask ourselves, who wants to get in front of veterinarians? Well, of course, Purina does. One of their divisions is for veterinarians, and we knew that. So they agreed to buy 30,000 copies, and we helped them come up with campaigns on what to do with that book. So they were giving away books as a special edition. We printed their logo on the front cover. There's a letter from the CEO on the inside, and they were giving them away at national conferences. Now, just think about this. When they exhibited at the American Veterinarian Association, they took up the whole hotel, the convention. And so what we did is we took Dr. Peterson's book, we put this sticky note on it, and it said, "Enjoy the book, Compliments of Purina. Get it signed by the author. Come to our booth between 3 and 6 p.m. today." And we put one the night before the convention started beside every door so that when people came out of their room in the morning, they all had a copy of the book. And where do they get it signed? Now, can you just imagine 2,500 people coming downstairs to the convention, all holding the book? And where do they go? They go to get it signed at Purina's booth. Now, let me ask you something. Seriously, just think about this. How much money does Purina spend on that booth? A fortune. And when they go there, they have one single objective, and that is to get everybody in that convention to come to their booth. And that's exactly what happens all the time if you want to use this special edition. What happened was Dr. Peterson gave a speech, and in the middle of his speech, he quoted from his book, and then he said, "Would anybody like a copy?" Well, of course, every hand went up, and so he went to the front audience and said, "Here's a copy of the book. I'll give you one." Well, the minute you give one to one person, what happens to everybody else? They all want one. So what he said was, "You know what? I've arranged through Purina to give you all a copy of the book. And all you got to do is follow me immediately after I'm finished. Let's go to Purina's booth, and you can pick one up there." And there were hundreds and hundreds of books there, and he stood there for 3 hours and autographed those books, and everybody from that convention lined up at Purina's booth. And so if you do exhibiting selling, then special edition may be something that we want to talk about, because I'm telling you, everybody was at the booth. Nobody was anywhere else. And we've seen this done over and over again. This book, Lead the Healers, on how to run a hospital with excellence. So hospital administrators, we ask ourselves, who wants to get in front of hospital administrators? A linen company. So what they did is they took their book. We printed a special edition. They gave away 500 books to 3 cities that they work in. And they sent them to hospital administrators along with the book and 2 tickets to a 1-day seminar by the author at a Ritz-Carlton. Now, how many free books do you think hospital administrators got last week? None. And how many do you think got a free $1,500 ticket to a 1-day seminar at a Ritz-Carlton, and lunch and breakfast was provided? They told us that their sales exploded after that event. And so you can just see if you want to get yourself in front of prospects in a very unique way. I mean, that's what this guy did with the big, it's a mortgage book. He went after RE/MAX partnered, and we showed them all kinds of different ways to do it as well. In addition to that, there is a bonus chapter. We only allow one per book, but maybe you could contribute something. Maybe you can contribute an actual chapter with good, solid information. There's a lot to consider here. And that's why Henry has put together an ad kit. This document will tell you everything. It's a PDF. If he hasn't already sent it to you, he will soon. It describes who he is, and he's a great guy. I'm telling you, I've met him personally. He flew to Barcelona to see me. We've talked weekly since. This guy's passionate about kids. He's passionate about helping teenagers, and the testimonials he has is phenomenal. So if you do partner with Henry and his wife Samantha, who's awesome as well, let me tell you, you're putting your brand alongside a very, very credible brand by itself. In this document, it's called the Ad Kit. You'll understand more about how you can reach your target audience if you're going after, or if you are interested in offering your services to parents of teenagers. Then this may be an opportunity for you to position yourself very interestingly in front of them. In this document, you'll give more reasons why it makes so much sense for you to advertise and partner with him. I mean, this is a great return on investment. So it has all of the information in there in terms of how many books you have to buy. You'll be shocked at how little. I mean, for most people, less than one customer will get the thing, and your ad will be in that book for the life of the book. All of the things are highlighted in the ad kit. The next step is simple. You fill out that form and get it to him first, because the first person in the category that sends him that application or lets him know that he wants to do it, that you want to do it, then he stops talking to people in your category. It's that simple. So it's something to think about. It's not anything you may have heard before, but I'm telling you, it's working all over the world. What I like to do, since I'm a marketing consultant, I get you to evaluate this. So let me ask you a quick question. This is only going to take a minute. A quick quiz. Does this idea, ask yourself from 1 to 5. 1 is no, it's not for us. 5 is, man, we're in. Does this idea offer a clear and near-term value proposition to you? It's pretty simple. It's positioning you in front of your target market in a very unique and prestigious way. Does the idea solve a real problem? It does solve a real problem. Teenage angst, teenage suicide, teenage discipline are very real issues. And this book is very, very practical. I mean, his work over the last 25 years, 30 years, helping teenagers, I'm telling you, is beyond comparison. Does it fit with our brand strategically or in our priorities? If it does, then you want to jump on this. Does this idea fit naturally within our culture? Do you want to associate yourself with a teen confidence builder? Do you want to be part of providing solutions for parents of teenagers? Do we have the ability to truly measure and quantify the benefits and results? You will absolutely have that. I mean, I'm a direct response marketing consultant, and it's very big in our field, in our industry, to be able to quantify. And you will have several different opportunities and tools to be able to show you how this makes so much sense. Does this idea meet with our ideal for ease of implementation? This is the easiest thing you're ever going to implement, because most of it's going to be done by Henry and us who are publishing it. The other idea, does this idea help us achieve differentiation in your marketplace? It sure does, because you'll be the only person in your category that's in that book. There's nobody else who's going to get it. The minute he secures one financial advisor, one therapist, one dentist, anybody who wants to get in front of parents of teenagers, and a lot of the spots I understand are already gone. So if you want to differentiate yourself, then this is the way to doing it. Is this idea user friendly for our prospects? It's a book, and it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to better themselves, and people who are interested in helping themselves, their interpersonal development, are great customers. Does this idea provide lasting value for us? Well, it does, because nobody throws out a book. It's an opportunity to be in that book forever. And then the number 10, I think, is one of the most important ones. Should we pursue this now before the opportunity goes away? Because the minute he secures a person in your category, he stops talking to everybody else. So my recommendation, you get back to Henry. He'll answer any questions. Geez, or if you'd like to get a hold of me, it's all my information's right there. I'd be happy to help you out in any way, get you more information about this. Listen, this is not something that's very common. It's not something that's going to be around very long, because we only have like 5 or 6 8, 10 people in the book who advertise like that. So it's not like we're having 100. My suggestion, if it's something you want to do, get in touch with us right away. God bless you. Thanks.